Welcome to the Denim and Pearls podcast. Business casual conversation laced with pearls of wisdom. Casual, authentic, unscripted dialogue about life, work, and entrepreneurship with the perfect blend of laughter and seriousness. Pull up a chair, kick back, and lean in as we welcome your hosts, Michelle Mross and Brian Swanson.
Hello there. I think we got you in the screen now, right?
Yeah, I was over here. Hi, my name is Michelle Mross.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
You have reached Denim and Pearls. We're business casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
From the porch.
From the porch. That is right. So we're going to go through and get our folks taken care of first?
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for our sponsors. iBuildSEO.com, A2Promos.com, Inc182.com, EmbellishButterfly.com, and EuropeanHeels.com/discount/Marcel. And each of them do something very amazing. If you go to their websites, you will find out what they do.
Well, that was cool. You made a decision today.
I made a decision.
To make it short.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our topic today. Oh, I forgot. First of all, go to
How to follow us.
Decisions. Do you answer the phone
No.
from the accountant during a podcast?
Oh, just hit. I'll call you back. Anyways.
No, it's a landline.
Oh, okay. Well, how do they find us, Brian?
They find us at DenimAndPearlsLive.com, number one, or you can find us probably where you're at, Facebook or YouTube or Rumble or any of your other favorite actual audio podcast places like Spotify and Apple and all those other things.
Your favorite podcast platforms.
That's what I said.
I made a decision
What's that?
to wake up today.
So we're talking about decisions.
Decisions are everything. And what I wanted to talk about is I'm in a book series called The 13 Steps to Riches. And what we've done in that book is we've pulled apart the book.
What do you mean you pulled it apart?
Every chapter. It's by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And so we took each chapter and made it its own book. Instead of just, a couple of pages of a chapter in the book, we made each chapter and we have 33 authors who wrote about each subject.
Right.
Okay. And so the last one I did, the one that's about to come out, is called Decision. And I thought Decision was probably one of the biggest steps to riches, the biggest step to achieving your dreams.
Right.
And that's why I want to talk about Decision, because everyone gets a point where they do, I got to go left or I got to go right. What do I do? And some just stop because they can't make the decision.
But that's a decision.
And it's the decision to stop. And then the others make a left and they find out they went the wrong way. And then do they make a decision to keep going the wrong way? Do they turn around? Do they go right and they went to the right way? And somewhere down the line, it isn't the right way. What do? So decisions are critical for all success, no matter how big or how small. You have to make a decision. And I think it's one of the biggest things in the 13 Steps to Riches, because if you don't make a decision, you never move. If you never move, you stay in the same place where you are. And if you are where you are, you never move. You never grow. And if you don't grow, then
so you simplified that all in 2 minutes.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Exactly. Except for I have a lot of counters to that.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily, I guess I shouldn't say counters.
You can't really counter it.
No, because everything that we do, we have to make a decision on. But sometimes when I posted the stuff about what we were talking about today, I got a little deeper than that. I got into the fact of how do you make those decisions? Okay. So, but I want to go back to what you just said. Decisions are important. And decisions can be whether you stop or whether you go, whether you stay the same, whether you change directions. Decisions can be made, all those other things. But I want to know, I guess what I want to really talk about is how are those decisions influenced?
Yeah, I saw you do that. Is it your decision or are you doing it because of someone else?
Right. Well, even in reality, I put the thing, is it somebody else's decision? Well, everything that we make decisions from are based on all of the experiences we've had in our past.
It's based on your perception.
Well, it's perception too. That's a big word for it. But
perception is everything you've acquired until that point.
Right.
Everyone makes a decision off of their current knowledge at that point in time.
Exactly.
And so that's why when people say, I really wish when I was 12, I didn't do. Okay, now that you're 53, you know better. But at 12, you worked at that level of what you knew at 12.
Right.
So don't beat yourself up for something where you worked on that knowledge that you had.
Well, it all comes back. It all comes back to that thing. Mom tells you not to touch the stove. You touch the stove anyway.
Yeah.
You made a decision to do it, and then you make a decision not to ever do it again.
No, because then you have acquired knowledge.
Yes, exactly.
And then you decide, I'm never going to touch that stove when it's hot again.
Right. So the same thing goes with the people who influence you.
But at one point, it's someone else influencing you. But once it takes into you, it becomes your decision. And that's what we talked about in that chapter of decision making for success is there's a point in your life where you are taking credit, other people are taking control of what you think. And once you take control of that, then it becomes your decision. I say this often in my talks where first 48 years of my life were not mine. I was the good girl. I was a good girl. Loves her dead mama. Loves Jesus and America too. I mean, I did what everyone told me good girls did. And so I was the good daughter, the good sister, the good whatever, the wife, the mother, the candlestick maker, whatever. I did what everyone wanted me to do until I decided not to. And that was after 48, 49. I think I was 49. And I finally decided to stop saying yes to everyone else and being so agreeable and to step into who I want to do. Because think about, we're in our business segment right now.
We are.
In the business segment, I was told, be an engineer.
I wasn't told to be anything.
Okay, then don't do anything.
I mean, well, no. I wasn't told to do nothing. I was never told that I needed to be in a particular career. I guess maybe I was once because my mom drugged me over during a high school fair kind of a thing, drugged me over to the recruiter between my junior and senior year and said, here, sign these paperwork. You're going to college.
Think about what they're
and
doing
the military.
Now. But the influence isn't just being told. It's what's happening around you. I mean, like with me being an engineer, it was, you have to take the ASVAB.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Twice, actually.
Yeah. You have to do the SAT. You have to do the ACT. And all those tests were showing that I was very good at math, very good at high multiplication and, spatial learning. You should be an engineer. Yeah, I'm good at that, but I don't want to do that. But I did it because I was told to. You see, it wasn't, you have to. They highly suggested that you should be because that's how your scores were.
Well, that's the way our schools are. At least in our day, they were.
Yeah.
You took
an assessment.
An assessment, yes, to say how good you were, how smart you are, where you could go. I mean, even your ASVAB test, your SAT didn't really tell you that. It kind of gave you an idea of where you were strong at so that you could get into college. That was all the numbers meant. But when you took the ASVAB was all about...
What does the ASVAB stand for?
I have no...
Armed Service Force.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Somebody will have to look that one up for us.
I
have no idea. But when you took the ASVAB test, they came back and they said, well, we're going to place you into a job because you test well in this area, or you test well in that area. But you still had a choice of what jobs you went into.
Yes.
Now, I took it the second time, and the second time I took, because the first time I screwed it all up. And I knew I screwed it up. It was like, can I do that over again? Well, but the second time I took it, they said, yeah, you're smart enough to do the career field you've asked to do.
What I was getting at is all sorts of things change us, mold us into what we think we're supposed to be. If we have a whole family full of people in the military, we think we have to go into the military. If we have a whole bunch of family members who are singing and dancing, we think we have to sing and dance. What I'm saying is, what we grew up thinking we had to do in order to appease our family, we learn later that we don't have to. And it was a decision. You have to make a decision to either stay where you are or move forward. And for those of you who own businesses, you made a decision to start a business. Whose decision was it? Was it yours? Or were you peer pressured into it?
There's a good term for it. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is part of it, but I think even on our daily basis, we have to make decisions. I have to make a decision. Do I get in the car and come over here and do the podcast, or do I not? I mean, it's an idea. It's not something that I say, well, I don't want to go do the podcast. Maybe I shouldn't do it today. That's not what I mean. But I still have to I may have made that decision a while back, but I've made that decision that every week I'm going to be here, or whatever, our scheduling is. So I always make a decision because why? Because it could be good for me, or it could not, all of those things become play factors in all of it.
Okay.
So it's not just, I don't think it's just a career choice. I mean, that's one decision that we made, but we make life choices. We make movements every single day that will determine where we go down that path.
Every choice is not a life or death choice. Okay.
No.
So for those of you who are out there who do, gosh, I don't know if I just go do whatever your first gut feeling is. Go do it. If you're not going to be stabbed, maimed, run over by a truck, whatever, if it's not going to kill you, go try one version of it. So as I say with Yoda, do not try. There's only do not try. So go out and explore that option. And if it doesn't work, change your mind. You have the choice to change your decision and go the other way. Just because you make one choice doesn't mean you have to stay in that lane. That's what I was thinking about with decision.
Right.
And
well, I also want to, Helene's over here, and hi, Helene. We've seen you coming up. We're actually here today. Oops, wrong one. Well, that was from Cara. Cara said, good afternoon, Michelle. But Helene says, I need a purple root beer. She has posted the fact that she made a decision
to have a purple root beer.
Now, she chose the color. She chose the root beer. She chose the purpose for why she said it. These are all decisions that we make minute by minute by minute by minute, because they reflect who we are also, because
hi, James.
We know she likes the purple root beer. She likes the color purple.
Purple people.
Right. Some people hate the color purple.
Well, no, it's purple people are different. Purple people look at the world differently, and she's a purple people.
Okay, well, whichever it is, but that's the way she's made her decision at this point. We make the decision whether we address the fact that she made a comment, or that James Maddox said hi, or what have you.
Oh, James, share the live stream. We'd appreciate that. Now, here's the thing about decisions. So many of us get stuck in the decision-making process that we never make a decision. What I'm imploring to you now is just make a decision. And people are like, it's not that easy. Not making a decision is a decision. Yes. So if you like where you are, if you like what you're doing, don't decide. Stay where you are. Stay stagnant. But I can tell you, in 10 years, you're going to really wish you moved somewhere. So
well, I want to bring that back to somewhat of a reality too, because we do deal with folks out there who are home-based businesses and stuff. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will do home-based businesses, and then they wonder why they don't accomplish something.
Peer pressure.
Some of it's peer pressure. Some of it is you've got to get out there and do the work. Well, some people will do the work, they'll have the success, and then it all fades away again. And they can't figure out why. Well, if you follow the rules of home-based businesses, if you will, the action that you do today will pay off 3 months from now. So if you're sitting on vacation today, 3 months from now, that week that you're on vacation will be no business 3 months from now. The business that you do today, so if you do a great amount of, like I do policies, life insurance policies. So if I do business today, guess what? The work that I do today will pay off 3 months from now.
That is why you need to plan. And Brian's going to tease me about this because I'm going to say it. SWOT your life. SWOT. Find your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities.
Oh, see, you had to think about it. You haven't said it in so long.
No, because I'm laughing at you. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Make a column under each letter and then write all of those things down, because what will happen is you'll see that maybe one of your threats is you like to take 2 weeks vacation and then you get a dead month or two later on. So what you want to do is you make a decision. If I'm going to take 2 weeks off and I'm going to go out to the islands and sip a Mai Tai on the beach, then you need to make up that work those 2 weeks prior to before you ever leave, like months ago.
Right.
So think about those kind of decisions you make and plan for what you want in the future. The reason why most of us have home-based businesses is we don't want to work 9 to 5. Right? How to work? It says that we're supposed to be going live and I'm missing it, but apparently I'm
15 minutes late.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But we don't want to work 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. And so what we want to do is we want our freedom. Well, if you want your freedom, you need to plan for what you want in the future.
Well, as long as you want to reap the rewards. If
I
care
want
about
my
the
business
rewards,
to fail while I'm on vacation. I want to have bills build up while I'm on vacation and have no money to pay for them when I can.
Well, if you built your business up big
Who would
enough, you
ever
don't have
say
to worry
that?
about that part.
In other words, plan.
But if you still want activity in 3 months, you've got to do the activity. I mean, if you don't believe what I'm saying, I mean, there's always numbers, and you know how the saying goes, you can't beat the numbers and the numbers can't beat you. It's always that. The top 10% are successful. The top 1% are super successful. The top 10% are producers in whatever downlines you may have if you have a home-based business that recruits and stuff. The top 10% are the people who are going to do things for you. The next 10% are the people who are going to do things on a very part-time basis. There's numbers for everything.
Be prepared.
So if you don't believe what I'm saying, write down the business that you're doing today and then come back 3 months from now, mark it on your calendar to see what you did today, or you do tomorrow, or you do the next day, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Success will have this tendency to snowball itself as long as you start it now.
And no matter what business you're in,
no matter what business it is.
No matter what business it works that way. So
Yep.
always want to plan. So you have to make a choice, make a decision to make a choice to move or not move, suffer the consequences later, or gain reap the rewards later. It's all a choice.
Right.
And so the reason why we want to talk about decision today is because so many people do have those. What's wrong?
We're at our commercial time.
Oh, so anyways, I want to share the little thing when he told me about what he just said about if you don't believe me. There's a joke my brother used to tell me. It's a little long. In the middle of the day, in the dark of the night, 2 dead boys got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, pulled out their swords and shot each other. The deaf policeman heard the noise, ran to investigate the 2 dead boys. If you don't believe my lie is true, go ask the blind man. He saw it too. That's what came to mind when he said, if you don't believe me, let's go to commercial.
Time for a commercial.
Contractors, do you need better cash flow, quality leads, better projects? Rise above your competition by proving you do better work. Make a solid first impression with strong reviews. Establish your credibility by showcasing your skills. Extend your reach so you can land better jobs with better clients. iBuild SEO will set you up for success with your search engine optimization, website development, social media marketing, content marketing, reputation management, review request system with the power of more, utilizing the construction contractors digital dominance method. Book your time to speak with us today at ibuildseo.com and click on the Get Started Now button.
Thank you for joining us on the porch. We share the nuances and lessons we've garnered from throughout our combined 40 years of life experiences. Talk from the porch is always serious, but full of laughter, and we're glad you're here with us. Like, share with a friend, and please subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And remember, join the conversation every Friday at noon Mountain Time. We'll see you on the porch.
We're back.
My name is Michelle Moras.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
We are Denim and Pearls. We're business casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
From the proverbial porch.
From the porch.
So we make decisions every day, and we do them for our business. We do them for our relationships, our homes, whatever. And in our second half, we always talk about personal relationships.
In some way, shape,
or form. So when we make decisions in our relationships, who's making those decisions? And earlier I was talking about, growing up, I thought I had to do certain things because that's what good girls do. And how do you take that in your life? What kind of decisions do you make? And are they, as Brian put in the description, are they your decisions or is it someone else's?
Every decision is yours, but it's also somebody else's, but you're the one that's ultimately
if
the
it comes out of your
decision maker.
mouth, it's yours.
Right. Well, it's kind of like the old saying for the presidents where I forget who said it, but the buck stops here. Well, the decision stops at you.
I think it was Reagan.
No, it was way before Reagan.
Okay.
I think it was like Woodrow Wilson or somebody like that. But the decision is your ultimate decision. It's just a matter of how it's being influenced.
And it's actually irrelevant.
What's irrelevant?
Who influences you?
I don't think it's irrelevant.
Because once you've made the decision and you say it, it becomes yours. You can't make a decision and say, well, I only made that decision because Brian told me. You said it.
But you have to accept that decision too.
You have to accept it.
You have to, you accept responsibility for that decision.
Which is why I said, once you let someone else influence you and you go out and say something or make a decision from that, I don't care who influences it, you are the decision maker once it comes out of your mouth, once you cause action on it. And you can point fingers backwards all you want.
Well, you know that old saying.
But it's you.
One finger
but it's you.
One finger out, three pointing back at you.
Be very careful who influences you. And as we say here, I always have that your vibe attracts your tribe. Your tribe is very important when it comes to decision making, because if you have a whole bunch of high flyers who are go-getters, your decisions are probably going to be high and positive. It's naturally, oh, Truman said that, but it's natural to birds of a feather flock together. Now, if you're hanging out with a group of people that you wouldn't trust alone in your house, then you probably are making bad decisions if you're listening to that circle. So as they say, if you want to soar like an eagle, you can't hang around with turkeys. That's what this is about. When you make a decision, everything that goes to your head has influence by everything you watch, hear, experience in life. Everything is influencing you. It's you to decide how you will allow it to.
I want to look at, I mean, we normally don't go too far down the political realm, but if we look at what's going on today with a lot of the decisions that are being made, the decisions are being made, and I'm not going to go good or bad on whichever, but there are a lot of decisions that are being made where people are doing it, and then everybody else is coming back and going, why did you make that decision? It's because, well, not it's because you made the decision, but because of the decision, our gas prices are high or our economy is doing this. But these are decisions. And some of them, what you see is, well, I made a decision, but it's this person's fault or it's this group's fault. It's everybody else's fault but mine, even though I'm the one that made the decision. Okay. And I'm not talking about one particular person and those kind of things. We would be here
as
all day.
I said, bottom line, I don't care who influences you. Once you make the decision, it is yours. Okay.
Right. But you can't put the blame back on everybody.
No.
And that's what we see a lot of these days.
Yeah. Well, I have a whole committee behind me. All my friends told me it was a good idea to drive down the street on a motorcycle with flip-flops and no helmet in the rain. You did it. It's your problem. And
that's called motorcycle surfing.
Yeah. So that's really what the bottom line is in personal responsibility is once you take on someone else's opinion and act upon it, it becomes yours. All yours. That's why they say the leader should take all the blame, because once it comes through everybody else and the leader says, okay, we're going to go with A, then A it is. And that person is in charge.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Let's kind of flip the tables here just a little bit. Okay. We've all this time for the last 20 minutes, we've talked about the decisions that we make, the decisions that they should make and how they should hopefully make those decisions. What about if you're the influencer?
We're all influencers.
What if you're the one who is saying, this is what you need to do with your life, or this is what you need to do with, I don't know, the ice cream that's melting in, sitting in the sun. You should probably put that in the freezer. So I'm being silly.
My thing is everyone is an influencer and everyone is a decision maker. It depends. So I'm influencing him just by sitting next to him and nudging him every once in a while, okay? He's influencing me by the changing of the subject matter that we're talking. I mean, we are always influencing each other. It depends on whether or not we take that choice. My biggest quote I love to say, Byron Katie, there are 3 types of business or 3 types of control in this world. There's my control, the other person's control, and God or the universe's control. When you are trying to control other people and say, well, it's them, not me. No, it's you. You can control how you react, how you respond, and how you think.
Right.
It all comes back to personal responsibility, self-leadership. And it doesn't matter if you are an influencer or not. We are all influencers. It depends on if you choose to take the influences of just anybody.
I have an interesting example for that. And I never thought about this until just now. Have you ever played poker?
Yes.
Like Texas Hold'em?
I played strip poker in college. Does that count?
I don't know. Michael, does that count?
He wasn't in college with me.
Oh, okay. Anyway, no, when you play in poker, you are not only your own influence, but you also influence everybody's decision around you constantly. I mean, I was playing poker last night, and I was in one of those modes where nothing was going my way. Every card came by that was just terrible, and I was doing a lot of folding and stuff. And every once in a while, I'd make a choice. Well, then somebody else made a counter choice, and then I got beat all night. So, but it was a matter of me influencing myself and the decisions that I make, my attitude, my body language, all of that kind of stuff that also influenced everybody around me and the decisions they made, whether they either followed me or they didn't.
As I said, you are always influencing someone. And that's why my big motto is be the best version of you, because you don't know who's watching you.
Oh, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
You know, should you like wear your grubbies from the house to Walmart?
What, you want me to get all gussied up like I go to Target? Just kidding.
Yes. That was an interesting reality there. But yes, that's what I mean. Because you never know who you're going to run across at Walmart or Target or whatever store or wherever restaurant you're going to go to.
You have to make a decision for yourself.
What do you want to put out there?
Weigh it out. I mean, you just have to weigh out who are you and where do you stand for. Mm-hmm. And then that is it. You stand your ground. You can be stubborn as all get out for that. Okay. Because like he was saying, playing poker, he was looking at his hand doing, I probably don't have a real good chance, but let me kind of fake it out here and throw it out. And people were reacting to that. Just think of in your life, how many people are playing poker in life. And they're like, you know what? I just went out and I just bought myself a brand new car. Yeah, baby, you should get a brand new car too. And you're like, geez, I'm lucky if I can buy a gallon of milk. But that person just bought a car and they didn't have to make a car payment for a whole 2 months. So maybe I'll get a car too. So I have a cool car just like them. And you go out and get a good, cool car just like them. And you can't eat for the next 8 months. You make decisions by the people around you. Own you and don't be easily swayed by other people playing poker on you.
But you can't be keeping up with the Joneses either.
That's what I'm saying. Stop playing poker with them. That's what keeping up with the Joneses is. A lot of times people say that they've got something and they're doing so well, and they're not.
Well, we could have a whole show on that.
Yes. So be careful who you allow to influence.
Because I mean, now we get down into a matter of perspective, and it might not even be a perspective that we expect. It's just, I had one business and everybody, it's really amazing. We shut the business down because the business was not making money, but everybody has this presumption that it was making millions or thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm going, no. And I'm having these conversations here recently, and they all look at me like, are you kidding? But their perception was that because we had a whole lot of people coming to the event, we were making a ton of money.
You didn't know that there was expenses on the other end.
Yeah, they don't. It's kind of like looking at the ATM machine to see what your balance is, but you forgot that you wrote 3 checks. But yet you're trying to take money out based on what the ATM says.
Be careful who influences you. It's very important to surround yourself with people that you want to hang with. Basically, if you want to be in an A-list group, then start getting around more A-list people. Mm-hmm. If you want to be an eagle, start soaring with eagles. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a turkey, stay with the turkeys. If you want to be a pigeon, be a pigeon. I mean, whatever you want to be.
Did you know pigeons are a delicacy?
Yes, I do.
That's disturbing. I know I totally changed the subject.
They're easy to catch too. Doing the
really
pigeon.
How are they a delicacy? I mean, they're all over New York.
They're everywhere. Anyways,
so I don't know who our Facebook user was, but she says so. Don't poker yourself.
I'm hoping it might be Heather. She tends to show up as Heather Harris tends to show up as Facebook user. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Yes, Squab. Squab is the pigeon. delicacy.
Squab.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael, for being our.
Is it a different?
trivia.
Is it a different type of pigeon?
It's a pigeon.
It's the same pigeon.
Yes.
So what's a pigeon and a dove?
Michael, thank you for being our trivia person today.
It's Tina.
Oh, it's Tina.
Hi,
Hello,
Tina.
So that's the whole thing today. Decisions in life, in business, in relationships, whatever it is. Bottom line, it comes down to you.
Mm-hmm.
You make a choice on where you want to go or where you don't want to go. And before you make decisions, make sure they're yours. Kind of write down a list, like I said, a SWOT list, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for whatever that decision is, and see, is it because mommy told me to, or because my best friend told me to, or because my neighbor's getting that? Whatever it is, find out who's really putting those thoughts in you, and then make your own decision, because you're the one who has to live with it.
Well, what about, how about risk and reward?
What about it?
We've got to make we never talked about this the entire show, but what about the risk and the reward? In other words, what is going to happen if you make this decision? What are the repercussions? Or if I make the decision, what's my reward for it?
We did talk about that. I said, if it's not going to maim you, injure you, kill you, and that's something you want to see if you can do, go do it. And then if it doesn't feel right, if things start falling apart, then back out of it, change your mind. Most of us go into a decision scared because what if it's wrong? Well, what if it isn't?
Well, that's where our personalities come in. So if you do that nice little Myers-Briggs and all those other fancy things.
And that's why it's important.
That's how, that's one way of making decisions.
That's why it's important to weigh the pros and cons of things. And the thing is our minds can create far more cons than it can pros. It's what our brain does. It will look at every disastrous thing. And then once the disastrous things come up, I want you to ask your questions. Is that true? Can I really honestly say that's going to happen? Can I be absolutely sure that it's going to happen? And if it's any of those are no, then go. Stop holding yourself back from your dreams. That's what many of us have done most of our lives. And it's a decision to be miserable in life. And it's a decision to find joy.
I don't know if I'd want to make a decision to be miserable.
A lot of people do.
Yuck.
They make a decision to be miserable by not moving towards their dreams because they're too afraid. They've let that pro-con list cripple them. My thought process is, if it's in your heart to do something or to grow something or do whatever you're going to do, you should be doing it. Stop looking for other people's advice on how to do it. Just go do it. And the worst thing that's going to happen, you're going to find yourself exactly where you were at the beginning. The best thing is you're taking a few more steps towards what you really want. It's a choice to be miserable and live small where you want. I really want. Then go do it. Stop letting fear hold you back.
Well, the only thing I can think of at this moment, for some reason it's rolling through my brain, is if you play the lottery and you win the lottery, they say on average, it takes 3 years to get to back to the situation you were in prior to the lottery. So we all wish for money, and then all of a sudden we have this windfall, but then we don't know how to handle it. And I'm sitting there thinking, there's the good majority don't make the decision to utilize their money correctly so that they can move forward and take advantage of this windfall that they had, where there are people out there that do take advantage of it. And they look at it and they go, ooh, maybe I need to learn something based on the situation that I'm in. And now I've got a windfall of money. Now I need to make a decision so that 3 years from now, I'm not sitting back at my same position.
Or do something like I did.
Did you win the lottery?
No, but I put in a plan is if I won this kind of money, what would I do with it? I already allocated how I would use it. I mean, how I would put it away and who I would let know. And that way, if it ever happened, I wouldn't be shocked by it. Now, you laugh by me saying that, but
well, I'm laughing at the who would know.
My thing is I did the same thing with my cancer. I've seen many, many people have cancer and die from it, okay, and be very, very sick from it. So I said, if I ever get cancer, what would I do? And I put through a whole scenario of all the things I would do. And this was back when I was like 17. And so I was 17 and I already put in a plan. If I got cancer, this is what I would do. When I was 49 and got cancer, had breast cancer, the doctors were shocked that I was answering so quickly. I was responding quickly. They're like, why do you know all this? It's because I already did the A/B testing. I already figured out what I was going to do if this terrible thing ever happened. I even have the plan for if I'm ever on a boat and the boat sinks. I mean, seriously, I planned out all the worst case scenarios and all the different things I do. Why? Because I don't like to be surprised.
Sorry, I'm not such a pre-planner. But I do have one thing, too, I wanted to bring up earlier that I forgot, and now I'm bringing back up again. Okay. The Ben Franklin close to help you make decisions. Basically, what it says is put all the good things for the decision, put all the bad things for the decision, and then based on the size of how many are on each column, that's the decision you have to make. And that's how I've shut businesses down before, because you go down through it and you look at it and go, well, all of the fans will want it. That's a good positive. But I'm losing money. I've got problems here. There's problems there. This can't be accomplished. And you look at that and you just go, ooh, maybe it's time to shut the business down.
Now, make sure those negatives are real negatives.
Oh,
not
yeah.
Made up negatives. Okay. We said that earlier.
This is not something that you can do in 5 minutes. It's something that you should be able to take a little bit of time, make some decisions, put your number, or, put your draft down, if you will, and then go back through and analyze it. Once you do that, then you should be able to make a decision, logically speaking.
So decisions, or as Willy Wonka says, button, who's got the button? The answer is you. You've got the button. You're in control. You make decisions. Make the right ones for you, not for anyone else, for you. And as I tell many, many people, they do it selfish, think only about me. Well, fill your pitcher first so that you can help other people. Okay. You've got the button. You're in control. Make the decision.
You're just so serious on me today.
I am very serious. Decision's very important.
It is important, but I think you still have to have some fun with it.
I'm laughing.
Because all I can think of is the mask that drops down in the airplane. Put the mask on first before you help your kids.
Yeah, you have to. And the reason I'm serious about it, but I'm saying button, who's got the button? My thing is life is too short to be scared. You really need to make decisions and move towards what you want, or you'll never get them. So, are you ready? Until next week, my name is Michelle Mraz.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
We're Denim and Pearls. We're business casual.
The Pearls of Wisdom.
From the porch. Peace.
Peace. I guess I have to hit the end button.